What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and the patch notes have arrived, guys. And I got to say, I have some conflicting thoughts about the patch notes. Unfortunately, a lot of things have come to fruition as far as what a lot of us expected, and it really doesn't come as a surprise as far as what Netmarble is doing because they're trying to monetize, they're trying to make more money. Some of these things aren't too bad. Some of these things I think, okay, we'll see what happens with it. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about these patch notes and take a look at them. So, according to the patch notes, guys, we're going to get, tier 3 advancement for Blade, which is great. We're getting tier 4 for Iron Man. We're getting new uniforms for Black Widow, Blade, Ghost Rider, and Iron Man, which is great. And then we're also getting a new GBR, which is very, very exciting, in Dormammu, which is awesome. And they're increasing the rewards of World Boss, and there's definitely some reasons for that. We also have tier 2 search for potential balance has been adjusted. Yeah, we'll get to talking about that. That's something I'm a little sore about and really don't care for, but okay, whatever. So here we have Iron Man's new uniform, which is a superhero blast still, right? And, applies to self, chaining damage by 15% attack. He's still got the same passive as he had before from his uniform effect. And then his ultimate skill still has a accumulation. Nothing really different too much here. Hopefully it's a different tier 3 than what it was before. He's got a critical rate buff here. He's got the 20% increase of energy attack, tier 2 passive, critical damage by 50%, good for a rage especially, and then active skill 1, nothing, 2, nothing. The third skill gives him a manually attack, but I mean, we'll see how this plays out, guys, as far as, him playing with a manual attack. It does give him immunity to all damage, increase all attack by 40%, which is really, really nice. And then he also has a huge heal, which is amazing. 35% recovery is awesome. And then he has another damage proc, increased basic damage by 100% for one attack. And then he also has another 40% increase of all attack. And with the accumulation that he has on his tier 3, I mean, we'll see how strong he's going to be. Honestly, I think it's going to be more of him getting a tier 4 than anything that's really going to bump him up. And then we get into Black Widow, who's still a speed superhero. Now, my wish for Black Widow is that she was going to be a really good PvE, and she might still be. But when you look at the kid, it looks like probably more for PvP once again, but it remains to be seen. So, her uniform effect gives her a 35% chance to penetrate everything, remove all debuff, decrease base damage C, which is really good, making her very tanky. This lasts for 7 seconds on a 10-second cooldown, so every other 3 seconds. This is going to be up, which is nice, man. That is nice. And then her passive gives her a 40% increase of physical attack, which is really great. Hitting toward target dodge rates, really great for null. And then her tier 2 passive, guaranteed critical rate, dodge rate, skill damage. The 1, the 2, don't care. The 3 skill gives her ignore iframe. This is why I think that probably more than likely she's going to be, she might be good in PvP. I mean, ignore iframe does come in handy in PvE as well. But with the decreased damage received by 40%, yeah, I do kind of wonder. She has a 5-second immunity. She's got nice damage back for 100%, which is going to be really good for PvE, which is nice. And then her 4th skill gives her an increased all attack by 55%. So, I mean, she might be good in PvE. She might be really good. We'll see. She has a huge heal, 30% recovery. She's got 3 seconds of invincibility, which will help keep her from getting guard broken against null at least. And then we have Robbie Reyes, who actually does get a transcended skill, which I'm very happy to see. Thank God they didn't do the Green Goblin treatment. And by the way, they should give Green Goblin something. What the hell, Netmarble? But he is of course, superhero universal. He's got chain-in damage by 10%. They changed the effect of these 2 skills. And then increased basic damage to supervillains by 60%. Decreased basic damage received from supervillains by 70%. Guys, this is nutty for your world bosses because they're all supervillains. He is going to be one tanky boy against supervillains. Holy crap. 70%? Whoa. And then his passive, increased fire resist. I mean, he's going to be super tanky against Mephisto, especially, guys. Wow. 80% chance to become immune to fire damage. Increases fire damage. Nice. Tier 2 passive. Guaranteed critical rate, dodge. 1, 2, no big deal. 3rd skill does give him a 30% increase of all attack, which is nice. And then he does have ignore iframe. So Robbie might be really good in PvP and PvE. I mean, we'll see. He's definitely going to be tanky against those PvP characters like Thanos. Like, he's going to be nutty against them, man. Decreased damage by 7%. Wow. He has penetration on the skill, man. So, I mean, he's got penetration. He's got a heal. He has ignore iframe all on this one skill. PvP, guys. I mean, and then his 5th skill Does have, fire resistance down, 35% increase ball attack. He doesn't have any accumulation, which is always worrisome when they don't have accumulation. So I'm thinking maybe PvP, we'll see. And then Blade is getting a tier 3. He is a combat, obviously. He gets a nice heal, or he gets an increase in his HP from his uniform effect. Chain hit damage by 25%. 25% is really, really nice. And then the decreased base damage received by 30% is really good to help him be a little bit tankier. He does have a really self-buffing leadership. Increase applies to Weapon Master allies. That's awesome. And then with Taskmaster on the team, that's going to buff him up also as well, giving some extra guaranteed critical rate. And then you have and by the way, Taskmaster is a combat. And then passive activation rate, when bleed skill is used, removes all debuffs, recovers HP equal to 10%. Okay. We'll see how this works, guys, as far as this bleed. The way he's set up now, it doesn't work at all. It doesn't work worth a crap. So, yeah. Increase all base attack by 40%. That's nice right there. And then his tier 2 passive, ignore dark dodge rate by 30%. Good. And then 1, 2, nothing. Third skill, always the 1, 2 skills just aren't really important. Third skill does give him super armor for 5 seconds, gives him increased all attack by 20%. This should have been a little bit higher in my opinion. The fourth skill gives him a nice damage accumulation. 1% is really, really good, so that's nice to see. 3 seconds of invincibility, so okay, nice. But he does get the extra super armor from the third skill. And then he also has, on his fifth skill, a nice 20% recovery of heal. He has a 100% chance to increase critical damage by 50% on critical attacks. That's really, really nice. That's going to help him hit really hard. But he doesn't have a lot of huge attack buffs, but he does have the accumulation. So we'll see, guys. I'm kind of, on Blade. We'll see. And then Blade's tier 3, penetrate, gets increased all attack by 40%. Same old typical stuff, guys, on tier 3s, nothing really too special. And then Robbie here, he gets the transcendent skill, which does have a nice 100% chance to increase critical damage by 20% on critical attacks. Going to help him hit really hard when he uses this skill. He's got no target dodge rate. And then the same old typical things that we come to expect, guys, with transcendent skills. And then, of course, Nova and Nadia are both getting transcendent skills. They're not getting uniforms, so honestly, guys, from my perspective, I just don't really care. I'm not even going to go into it. It doesn't even really matter. And then we get into the tier 4 advancement and striker skill. So tier 4 advancement and striker skill will be added to the most powerful heroes, which is Iron Man right now. And the striker skill is based on level 1. So the striker skill creates a 2500 shield upon successful attack, which can regenerate up to 75% of max HP. So what this skill is going to do for Iron Man is it's going to give him a big heal and give him a nice attack buff by 1% for every 1% of the super hit shield up to 70%. Kind of like an accumulation thing in a way. And then the tier 4 advancement system. And this is where we get to the kind of some players are going to feel some kind of way about this. Honestly, all these things they did, I pretty much accepted, except for maybe the tier 4 skill. But as far as everything else, a lot of these things we pretty much expected. So, I mean, guys, you can take a look. So now we have a higher reach potential level. We have the character has to be tier 3 in order to do the tier 4. They got to reach level 80. So instead of level 70, now they go to level 80. Their gears can now go to 30 instead of 25, so now we know we got to level up their gears. And now their skills can go up to level 10. So we can increase the level of their skills. And for the skills and for the gears, they have added some materials that we are going to need. So, to clear War Boss Legend difficulty, to search the second potential. So, once a character's at tier 3, you have to take them in there again and search for potential again, which I honestly freaking hate. Once again, so your character has to be tier 3 in order to do this. So, I mean, it's just another way to keep players from getting tier 4s immediately, right? So players are going to be rushing. There's really going to be no need to rush unless you have their potential already increased the second time. So like right now for our characters, you got to level up their potential in order to be able to tier 3 them, in order to awaken them. Well, now it's the same thing, or in order to take them to level 70. Now, in order to get them to level 80, you got to do the same thing when you have them at tier 3. You got to put them in World Boss, run them in there, and then try to get the potential leveled up that way. Yeah, so, okay, whatever. And then we, scroll down a little bit more, and you guys can see this here. So now they've added these new materials, guys. In order to take the character from level 70 to level 80, you're going to need what's called Life Seed and then EOD and TCP. So Life Seed is another resource that is going to, bottleneck a lot of players, but there's going to be other bottlenecks as usual that are actually, in my opinion, worse than the Life Seed. But okay, I mean, if you already have the character at tier 3 and you already have, I mean, it's I guess it won't be that bad, but this is what people are going to be wailing out and buying, or at least one of the things, in order to level up the characters. I can tell you guys right now, I won't be doing it. I will definitely be farming the old-fashioned way. I might buy a small pack because we know they're going to put packs in there, but I will not do what I did before. It's going to be interesting to see what they do as far as the packs and how much they're actually going to charge for this crap. And then, of course, you use biometrics to level them up once you use these materials here to level up the characters. And then, in order to level up their gears, they added, other materials called carbonadium, right? These other materials right here in order to level up their gears. So this is another resource that you're going to have to get. You're going to have to get these life seeds in order to level up their potential. And then you're going to have to get these, carbonadiums and these soul of faltines in order to level up their gears. Awesome, wonderful. And you get them from World Boss and Giant Boss Raid. So, you're in story mode, guys. You're not going to be able to get these materials. You can only get them from World Boss Legend and Giant Boss Raid. Yeah, so this is, it's going to take some time to farm enough materials in order to tier 4 a character. Now, whether or not it's tier 4 in a character, is it really going to be a needed thing? That remains to be seen. I'm sure, for like certain metas, if you're going to be competitive in the game, I'm sure it will be. But really, as many of you know, we can use all of our tier 3 characters and awakened characters do pretty much what we need to in the game to get a certain amount of resources. But they did make some other changes in the game. And then we have the life seed, which actually is used to level up the skills here, guys. So yeah, it's always great. And then, of course, we have another book. The Book of Vashante is what we're going to use to have to advance the characters. So just like we have our regular books to take characters to tier 3, now they've added another set of damn books that we got to level a character up to tier 4. But you might have terrible luck in getting these books. And yeah, it might be an eternity before you're able to tier 4 a character. Honestly, I wish they wouldn't have done this, but okay, it's probably not going to be a big deal for players. You guys can see the stat bumps here. They're going to get another huge stat bump for them. So yeah. And you're going to be able to get these books from Giant Boss Raid against Dormammu. Characters have to be tier 3 in order to play against Dormammu. And World Boss Legend, which is just wonderful. You guys can see that you need 10 of them, just like our regular books. And then we have the Striker skill will be unlocked when the heroes advance tier 4. Now this is something new and a new mechanic that they're offering in the game. And whenever you use a Striker skill, right, you put a character in this slot here, it's going to give the bonus, right? It's actually an extra skill that you press, just like our ultimate skill, our 6th skill, that you press in order to get this giant buff, right, to get this shield, to get this heal, and to get this buff. And what this means is in the future, they're going to add probably different striker skills for different tier 4s, whether it's going to be adding more damage, more survivability, maybe something for PvP, something for PvE. So this is something to keep in mind, guys. It's like it looks to me like a more advanced artifact system in a way, right? But it's a skill that's actually going to be available to your tier 4 character whenever you get them to tier 4. So when the striker skill is used, the hero set as striker will use the skill, then an additional buff effect will be applied to the tier 4 hero, right? And it works the same way as our 6th skill. It charges up whenever you use your skills, right? So you're going to be like, you're going to be pressing multiple skills. I mean, you guys can see it on the screen right here. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about it and how I feel about having an extra skill. It might add something special to the game. It might, right? Over time, it might actually add something really cool to the game and add some different special effects in the game for us to play with and have a little fun with. But it's another thing that we have to do. And yeah, okay. We'll see. And then Giant Boss Raid improvements, a new boss Dormammu release. So Dormammu, this is amazing. I'm really, really excited about the GBR Dormammu. This is I mean, I'm stoked about this. You guys can see that you do get those books from there. You also get some other tier 4 materials from here as well. Camera died, sorry about that, guys. But anyways, so, this is really, really exciting news to be able to fight in a new GBR, something that we've all been looking forward to for a long, long time, guys. I'm so excited about this. And then what they've done is they've changes have been made so that the agents can challenge all giant raid bosses, regardless of the rounds, and the difficulty for each boss will differ, right? So, Master Mode, Galactus, Dormammu, obviously Dormammu is going to be the most difficult, and a hero that has been used cannot be used in all difficulties. Okay, once you use them once, so they're pretty much done, just like what we've always had in GBR. And the amount of boost points required to increase the reward count differs based on each star difficulty. Maximum Galactus, 35 points. Dormammu, 40 points. So a lot of things remain the same. Maximum and Galactus, you can use tier 2 characters. Dormammu, you need tier 3 or transcendent characters in order to fight against him. And then there's a little note here, guys. Agents can enter Giant Boss Raid Dormammu after the update. Please refrain from using potential Transcendent Tier 3 heroes at Giant Boss Raid and you guys can see the dates and times here, all right, for agents who want to challenge the new boss right away. All right, and the preset feature will be shared for all difficulties, which is actually really good. Nice little quality of life change right there. And then the number of agents required to start Giant Boss Raid battles has been changed from 3 to 1. The difficulty of the boss increases as more agents participate, but the rewards will be increased as well. That's really good to know. That's definitely a good thing to know. The stats of the boss and some attack patterns will be changed based on the agents who have participated. Okay, so the more agents, then attack patterns are going to change from this boss. That's actually pretty interesting. And then we scroll down here. And you guys can see, obviously you're going to get these Book of Ashantis, the Soul of Faltines, from facing against Dormammu. And you'll be able to get Dormammu bios now from facing against Dormammu, which is actually pretty cool. That's actually really nice. So earlier when I said that, the Book of Ashanti, I was actually wrong earlier about this. You can actually get these things every single day from the Dormammu Giant Boss Raid. So that's actually a good thing. So that's my mistake earlier. I was thinking that you could only get these from World Boss Legend, but you can actually get these things from the Dormammu GBR, which is actually really awesome that you can do that. So worst comes to worst, you have to play this for 10 days in order to get it, but at least everybody, it is a guaranteed reward whenever you're facing Dormammu GBR. So that's actually a really good thing to know. And also the Soul of Faltine is also guaranteed 150 of those things every single day. So that's actually pretty nice. So that actually kind of relieves the pressure a little bit for players to get these materials for tier 4s. And then they added the card crafting cubes here. The acquired amount increases as difficulty increases. They changed the difficulty of Galactus, whereas defense and HP have been increased. Some patterns have been changed, and temporary invincible effect will be applied when the phase changes. He's going to be a little bit more difficult. The rewards that can be acquired from Galactus have been partially increased. That's actually good. It's always good to see rewards being increased. And then they have World Boss Legend difficulty division, where they've actually increased the they're actually letting us know the difficulty of level on the World Boss. So Null is the easiest, Mephisto is the second most difficult, and then Infinity Ultron is the most difficult, which we've all known, right? But the thing about this is, guys, if the more difficult boss you face, the more rewards that you're actually going to get. So the rewards for each boss have been improved based on difficulty division, right? So the overall rewards of Mephisto and Infinity Ultron has been increased based on the legend difficulty, which is really, really awesome to know, guys. So maybe they actually make it worth your while to face the more difficult bosses and higher levels of the bosses. The acquired amount of Essence Dimension Titan component packs has been increased in all legend difficulties, and the Tier 4 advanced materials, Life Seed and Carbonadium, have been added to the rewards of all legend difficulties. And then you guys can see the rewards that you get. They added Lycee and Carbonadium, which we already know. And then we have artifacts, guys. Iron Man's is pretty decent. I'm not really going into too much detail, guys. This video has been super, super long already. And then Black Widow here, 20% chance to dodge all attacks is kind of whatever. Blades is kind of, I mean, it's all right. 10% for a 6-star is kind of weak. And then Robbie's here is... I mean, it might be all right. I don't know. I don't really put a lot of stock in artifacts. These are crap. We don't really care. I'm not even going to go into those guys. They don't even have uniforms yet. And then we have the future pass. You guys can read all that if you want. We have the uniform collection, which is fine. And then we have the improvement and changes. And for those of you that are playing on iOS, you need to play on an iOS device that supports iOS 12 in order for this game to run optimally. And then we have some other things, guys. I'm not really going to get into all this, but I mean, you guys can see that there is quite a few dislikes on this. I mean, there's quite a few likes. It's kind of like a 50-50 thing. I think a lot of people are really, really excited about Dormammu. I mean, honestly, and that's awesome. And it's really awesome that we can get the books in there, that we're getting these guaranteed materials in there. That's awesome. It really is. And it really does kind of relieve the pain of tier 4s. But I think, the fact that, we're going to have to get all these extra materials, that we're going to have to enhance potential once again, all they did was regurgitate everything that they did with the tier 3s, except for adding this extra skill for the tier 4s. All they did was add more materials, just regurgitated everything that we had before. Now we got to do potential again. We have another higher advancement level. It's just the same old, same old. I am glad they did the extra skill thing, because that's actually something different and unique. Well, kind of unique. We already had extra skills, but at least it's something. But I don't know, guys. It really remains to be seen how good this update is actually going to be. Let me know in the comments how you all are feeling about it. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.